welcome back to Sew On If I Sew, or welcome if you're new, and welcome to day 4 of the Sew New in June challenge, and today we are talking all things fit. So, one of the reasons many of us sew is to make clothes that fit us, and whether that's due to size or in terms of width or height or any dimensions, we are all individual and we all have wonderful bodies that are our own. Problem is, ready-to-wear fashion doesn't always acknowledge that. And I know, as somebody who is straight-sized, however, there is in modern sizing normally a 4 to 5 size difference between my bust, waist and hips, and I don't fit in one garment, and I know this is really common for lots of us. Or I'm very short, so most ready-to-wear jeans are about 4 inches too long. I have to buy 7/8 jeans for them to fit. So as all of you know, I gave up fast fashion last year, and I'm still going strong a year in, which is really exciting. I bought some underwear, and that's like it. I bought some underwear and some recycled tights, and that's the only things I've bought, so I'm quite chuffed with that actually. So today we're going to talk about fit. Now, there are some lovely other creators joining us today, notably Lindsay from Sew Busty will be demonstrating a full bust adjustment, and we've got some great other creators helping out today. So I've linked everyone involved below. Go and check out their videos, posts, blogs, content, all about fitting your clothes to you and your body. I should have said this from the other days actually, there are some fantastic creators involved helping me out, and I'm really excited to see what they've got up to. But today I'm not talking pattern adjustments. I am talking pure and simple, the most basic fitting technique of all, darts. Now, darts are there to help us shape clothes to our figure, whether that's pulling things in at the waist, bust darts to take away excess fabric, or skirt darts, you know, they're everywhere. And darts are really fun when you get them right, because they're beautiful, like perfectly neat darts are like my favourite thing in the world. But when they go wrong, they can be utterly infuriating. So today, on my Nina Lee Carnaby dress, I'm going to show you my super easy, simple way to do bust darts. Because also, I know there's a few of you who follow me who sew but don't sew clothes and would like to, or there's some lovely beginner sewers who follow me. So hello, this one's for you as well. So darts are really simple. They just take a little bit of confidence and some precision, but we can all do that, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to show you the proper way, as in like the most technical way I would normally do it if I can be bothered. I can be a bit slapdash with my darts because I just go for it. But I will take you guys through that today. So come join me at the sewing machine and I'll show you how I do darts. There are probably other ways, but this is how I do them. So here we are. This is my front bodice. As you can see, it's in half. And I've got one dart to mark here. Helpfully, the numbers are actually marked on the tip of the dart. So I've made a size 8. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to make a little snip at the end of each of the size 8 marks. So if I turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I've got the tip. This is the end of the size 8 dart here, so let's grab my little snips. You can do this either, you can actually cut out a little triangle as well, like as in you can cut a triangle away from the fabric, which some people do, or you can just snip in. I've always just snipped in because you're in the seam allowance anyway, it doesn't really matter. So those are our 2 marks, and I have, because I'm in half, those have gone right through to the other side as well. Lovely. So the next thing we've got to do is mark that end point. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. Either sometimes I just kind of stab through the end point of the dart. But today I'm going to do it properly and use my tracing wheel, which looks like this. So I'm going to really press in and then down the other side. I recommend starting from the end points, like starting from the outside end points,
And because linen marks beautifully, as you can see here, nice faint but visible triangle here on the linen. Now, this technique with a tracing wheel works really well on more stable fabrics and also fabrics that are plain, so without a pattern, because you can see what you're doing. If I'm working with a fabric that is a little bit more patterned, what I tend to do is mark the end point of the dart with my very trusty white tailor's pencil that I've had since I started sewing. So I'll mark it there on our dart. Now, another technique I use if I'm really struggling to get those marks through is I take the pattern piece and I fold it. I bring the ends of the dart together like that, and then we wiggle it around a bit and I fold it in half, so we have half the dart exactly here, and then I lay it against, so this is the upper half of the dart, I lay it against the pattern there. It's quite hard to do, but it does work. Lay it in half, and then I will be able to lay it in the middle, and then I've got a line down the centre that I can draw. There we go. It's a bit rough, but it's there. So then what we do is fold the end points of your fabric together, grab the point, so there we go. Gonna lay that down, grab some pins. Now, I often only do a pin here, right at the end point, and I put my pin just past the end point. I don't know if you can see. So my end point's actually there. So what I do is I make sure I sew on this side of the pin, and then I know it's in the right place. And then we bring the ends together like so. Pop another pin there, and then it's really, again, I do the pin on the outside edge so I sew in the right place. And then it is really down to you how many pins you want to put here. So I might put another one in the middle today because I'm being good and demonstrating to you guys. And we end up with this triangle. Now, my pins aren't necessarily in the straight line. That's fine, because what I'll do when I put it through the machine is I'll arrange it so it is a literal straight line between this point and the end point, and just sew it in one go. I always start sewing from this end and just sew straight off the end, so you get a nice clean dart. So I've done my second one in exactly the same way, marked the end, pinned it down, and then basically when we press it, we will, like when we sew it, we will then press it down so it comes into line there, and we get a nice neat bust dart. Like, you'll see a lot of different types of darts. You'll see really big ones that draw in a lot here. You'll see small ones like this that point up quite distinctly. And you'll see lots of other ones. But basically these are here to give a nice shape over the bust and to take away excess fabric in a sheath design that you always get a little bit, and it's always a little bit lower in the bodice because of the shape. So let's now sew these on the machine. So here we are. I've set my needle ever so slightly, literally fractionally to the right of my little dart cut, and I've moved that just to that side. So there we go, we're all ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is pull these tails. I saw this trick actually a while ago on Instagram, it works really well. I'm going to pull these tails down in a straight line to my pin at the bottom, and I'm going to sew this down in one line. So let me pop you on the tripod so I can use both hands. So I'm just sewing along here. Sorry, I had a slight argument there with my pedal, which was not where I thought it was going to be, and was in fact sideways. There we go. Now, I don't normally sew with my hands in such a weird configuration, but what I have learned is it's really, really difficult to sew and also not have my hands in the way of the camera. So we've gone with a slightly strange configuration. But what can you do? So near there, got my little white marker under there. So yeah. Done. Now let's do the other side. It's only through camera that you really notice how dusty this little foot is actually, so I really need to give my sewing machine a clean. It's crazy. Like my old sewing machine, I thought I used a lot, but nothing, absolutely nothing compared to the amount I use this one. And the wear and tear, oh my goodness, the wear and tear is the same. So this is something I have just found with linen, which is when you put the needle in, you have to really be careful to actually put it in properly, because it just slips out because of the way linen frays, and it is very, very annoying. And I would be lying if I said I hadn't edited out the odd curse. So going down. Let's pop out my middle pin I did on this side to be good. So I'm doing one with my kind of string technique and one without, because I don't need it. It is something I do. So that is the lovely noise of the pin going under the foot. So let's just take that out right now. Yes, I do sew over my pins, but I try not to actually sew over them with my needle. That's kind of that's sort of the end point I've come to. There we go, lovely. So here we go. I now have 2 darts, which look very neat. So the next step is, something's gone weird with my bobbin there, but it's not a problem. The next step is we're going to press these down so they're nice and flat. So here we are at the ironing board. Let's give it a press. I like to press my darts one way and then the other to really get them down. It's really important to press your darts. I mean, it's important to press everything you sew, but it's very important to press your darts because they give you a proper shape then over the bust, and also it sets the stitches. Sorry, that rattling you can hear is the little cupboard that my iron sits on, and the doors at the front of it rattle, and it's really, really rather frustrating. So let's do the other side. Bit of steam. And there we go, all done. We have a beautifully pressed front piece of our shift dress.
So hopefully that was useful. I hope that that very short, very simple tutorial has been useful for you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you do your darts like this? Do you have another way that works for you? What's your favourite pattern adjustment as well? Tell me, because I never do full bust adjustments. Like, I can do them, but the waist to bust difference is so big that I don't find a full bust adjustment helpful generally. What I actually tend to do is grade, so that I just get the waist and then I go for something with the bust and then take stuff off the shoulders, etc, etc. But let me know in the comments below if you have a favourite pattern adjustment, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, head over to Lindsay at So Busty, who is demonstrating a full bust adjustment, and check out Instagram today and all the other lovely creators getting involved, and see how they are adjusting their patterns. So happy sewing. I hope the challenge is going really well for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for engaging. It's been fab to see so many of you joining in on Instagram. If you like this video, please give it a like, share and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.